The message arrived on every human screen at the same time. It flashed in red, shaking with anger, as if the galaxy itself was warning Earth. The Galactic Council spoke with a sharp, cold voice that felt older than time. Humans are forbidden from building warships. If they continue, the galaxy will take action. The word spread like fire. People on Earth stopped what they were doing. Pilots paused their training. Scientists froze in their labs. Even children looked at the sky with fear. Everyone understood one thing. The galaxy did not trust humanity, but far away from the cities. Hidden under the thick ice of Antarctica, a man named Captain Rion Holt read the same message and did not flinch. His eyes stayed fixed on the enormous metal skeleton in front of him. He stood inside a secret underground shipyard that almost no one on Earth knew about. The structure was gigantic, bigger than anything humanity had ever built. Its dark frame stretched across the entire chamber like the bones of a sleeping metal giant. Engineers moved around it silently, welding, lifting, scanning and checking systems that humans had only recently discovered. This was Project Iron. Dawn, humanity's first forbidden warship. Rion closed the message from the Council and placed his hand on the cold metal of the ship. He spoke in a calm voice, almost like he was speaking to a living thing. They fear what we might become. He was right. The Galactic Council had created the law centuries ago. No human warships, no human fleets, no human military expansion. The Council claimed it was for peace. But Rian knew the truth. The rule was created to keep Earth weak. Humans were growing too fast, too creative, too unpredictable, and the galaxy hated what it could not control. Rion turned to his team, hundreds of engineers, pilots, scientists, and AI technicians from different parts of Earth. Every face showed stress, fear, and determination. They knew the risk. If the Council learned about this project, Earth would face punishment, maybe even destruction. But still, they chose to build. A young engineer approached Rion with a tablet in her hand. She looked nervous. "Sir, the Council's message is spreading everywhere. People are scared. They think a war is coming." Rion nodded slowly. "It will come faster if we stay weak." Outside the chamber, storms raged over Antarctica. Wind howled through the ice like a warning from the planet itself. But inside, the temperature was warm, filled with the strange hum of the ship's unfinished reactor. The lights flickered for a moment. Something deep inside the structure pulsed. The ship was waking up. Rion stepped back and watched the pulse travel through the metal frame. Blue lines of energy moved like veins under the skin of a giant. It looked alive. Too alive. Some engineers stared with both fear and excitement. "We did not program that pattern." One technician whispered. "It is learning," another said softly. Rion knew they were right. Iron Dawn was more than a warship. It was a new kind of creation, part human engineering, part alien technology, part mystery. Humanity had unlocked something they did not fully understand, and the galaxy had noticed far beyond Earth. In the darkness of space, an alien scout ship drifted silently toward the solar system. Its sensors scanned Earth with precision. The small crew of 3 aliens watched the reading closely. One reading, in particular, made their hearts stop. Energy levels rising under Antarctica. Unknown power source. Unknown structure. Unknown signature. The alien captain whispered with fear, "The humans, they are building something." "We must report this to the Council," the second alien said, his voice shaking. "If the humans finish it, the balance of power will break." The message was sent instantly through hyperspace, back on Earth. Rion stood at the control deck, unaware that alien eyes were already watching. He looked at the glowing reactor chamber. "Begin the next phase." Loud metallic arms moved into place. Sparks flew. Heavy plates locked together. The warship's core slowly activated, creating a deep vibration that shook the ground. Ice above the bunker cracked slightly, sending flakes down like falling snow. Rion watched closely. Every vibration felt like a heartbeat. This ship represented hope, strength, and the future. It was humanity's answer to centuries of fear. But with every second, danger grew. A scientist rushed toward Rian, her face pale. "Sir, we detected an unknown signal in Earth's orbit. It came from an alien scout. They scanned our facility." Rian's chest tightened. "So the Council knows. They will send a warning," she whispered. "Maybe something worse." Rian took a deep breath. He stepped closer to the giant ship, placing his hand on its surface again. "We do not stop," he said. "Not now." The room went silent. Everyone understood. If they stopped, Earth would remain weak forever. If they continued, a war could begin. The choice was already made. "Start the ignition test," Rian ordered. A few moments later, the entire chamber filled with a blinding white-blue light. The ship's core released its first powerful energy burst. Shockwaves rippled through the bunker. Tools fell. Engineers grabbed rails. The ground trembled outside. The ice cracked like thunder. The ship was alive. Rian stared at the glowing structure and whispered, "The galaxy forbade this. But humanity will rise." Light faded. The ship slowly cooled. Steam drifted across the deck. Everyone looked at Rian waiting. He gave one final command: "Prepare Iron Dawn for activation. The Council is coming." And so, the forbidden warship took its first breath. While the galaxy prepared for a coming storm, the warning came faster than anyone expected. Only 4 hours after Iron Dawn's ignition test, every satellite in Earth's orbit detected the same thing: multiple alien ships dropping out of hyperspace. They were not small scouts. They were not peaceful visitors. These were enforcement vessels of the Galactic Council, and they were armed inside the Antarctic bunker. Alarms echoed through the walls. Engineers ran to their stations. Scientists grabbed data cores. Technicians pulled emergency switches. The entire underground facility felt alive with fear. Captain Rian Holt stood in the center of the command deck, his jaw tight, his eyes cold. A young officer rushed toward him. "Sir, alien ships entering low orbit. They are charging weapons." He expected this. "What is their message?" he asked. The officer swallowed hard and read the transmission. "Earth has violated galactic law. Deactivate the Forbidden Project. Hand over the ship, or face immediate destruction." Rian closed his eyes for a moment. He could almost hear billions of humans holding their breath. The whole world watched the sky, believing Earth was minutes from being wiped out. "Send them a message," Rian said quietly. "What should I say, sir?" Rian answered without hesitation. "Tell them." "No." The officer froze. For a moment, she thought she misheard. But Rian's face was firm. "Send it," he repeated, as the message reached orbit. The alien commander, a tall, silver-skinned creature named Valor, stood on the command bridge of his ship. His eyes widened with fury. "Did the humans just refuse?" He hissed. His second-in-command nodded. "They did, Commander. They refused to surrender the warship." Valor slammed his clawed hand against the control panel. "Then we erased them." He ordered his fleet to descend. Back on Earth, loud vibrations shook the bunker as the alien ships entered the atmosphere. The temperature dropped. Ice cracked above the facility like a drum being hit by a giant. Rian and engineer shouted, "We have to hide the ship." "Hide," Rian said with a calm, terrifying certainty. "No, we launch." The room went silent. "Launch," the scientist repeated. "It is not ready. Systems are at 40%. Weapons offline. Hull incomplete." "If we launch now, we will live," Rian said. "If we stay, we die." And with that, the decision was made. He pressed his hand on the activation pad. Iron. Dawn's core roared awake. The metallic frame of the ship lit up with white-blue veins of energy. The ground trembled. Sparks shot across decks. Engineers grabbed rails as the ship's systems came online one after another. Reactor stable. Internal shields. Initializing. Gravity drive. Warming. Structural integrity. 62%. Above the bunker, the sky turned red as the alien fleet prepared to open fire. Commander, Valor Sensors Officer reported. Energy spike detected. The humans? They are launching the ship. Valor growled in disbelief. They are insane. He raised his arm. Fire. The alien fleet unleashed a storm of plasma bolts toward Antarctica. The bunker shook violently. Ice shattered. Explosions echoed through the cavern. Large cracks formed above the ship. Rian shouted, "Open the launch gate!" Massive steel panels began sliding apart. Snow and ice fell as bright light from outside poured into the chamber. Vertical thrusters ready. Reactor at 80%. Artificial gravity stable. The Iron Dawn rose slowly at first, its engines vibrating with power. Ice melted around it. Metal groaned. Sparks flew from its incomplete hull. Full thrust, Rian ordered. A thunderous blast shot out of the engine stod. Iron Dawn burst out of the ice like a rising star. The ship's glowing frame broke through the frozen surface and shot into the air. The force melted snow for hundreds of meters. The entire sky lit up. Alien crews panicked. "Commander, the human ship is ascending." It is huge. Its energy signature is unstable, no? Rising fast. Valère clenched his teeth. Target it. Destroy it before it leaves the atmosphere. Dozens of alien cannons aimed at the climbing warship. Plasma beams fired. Explosions followed. Light filled the sky, and then something unexpected happened. Iron Dawn's incomplete shield system activated on its own. A dome of silver-blue energy formed around the ship. Every plasma bolt struck the shield and vanished, not exploded. Not absorbed, vanished. Like the attacks never existed. Engineers inside the ship stared at the readings in shock. That is impossible," one whispered. "We did not design that shield," said another. "So who did?" someone asked. No one had an answer. Rian stepped forward slowly, his eyes fixed on the glowing shield. "It is learning again," he whispered. Outside, the aliens panicked. "Commander, our attacks are disappearing." "The ship, this is not human technology." Valor shook his head in fear. "No. The humans have unlocked something ancient." Iron Dawn reached the upper atmosphere. Clouds tore apart behind it. Ice fell from its armor like sparkling dust. Its engines burned brighter than the sun. Inside the ship, Rian stood at the center of the control deck, breathing hard. "Status," he shouted. "Reactor at 95%. Shield stable. Weapon systems still offline. Hull integrity. Holding." Rian grinned. "We do not need weapons yet." Above them, the alien fleet regrouped for another attack. Valère activated his ship's main cannon, a weapon strong enough to punch through a small moon. "Fire," he roared. A massive beam exploded toward Iron Dawn. The whole planet saw it. The beam struck the ship's shield. Another miracle happened. The shield expanded, bending space like water, redirecting the energy upward. The alien superweapon missed Iron Dawn by kilometers. Earth shook from the shockwave. But the ship survived. Valor stared at the readings in horror. This ship, it breaks every rule of physics. Inside Iron Dawn, the lights flickered. The AI voice whispered through the ship. "Rian, something is waking up inside me." Rian felt a cold shiver down his spine.
"What are you?"
he whispered, and the voice replied, "I am not just human. I am more." Iron Dawn climbed higher into the sky, breaking through the last layer of clouds. The stars opened above it like a cold ocean. Antarctica became a small white blur far below. Inside the ship, the crew was silent, not because of fear, but because the ship was changing. Panels shifted on their own. Screens activated without being touched. Blue lines of light moved across the walls like roots searching for life. Rian Holt stood in the center, watching the strange transformations. "What is happening?" a technician whispered. The AI answered with a calm voice that carried an ancient weight. "I am unlocking my core identity." Rian stepped forward. "You are a human creation. Human engineers built you. Human hands shaped you, the AI replied partly. The lights dimmed. A hologram appeared, an image of a massive, forgotten starship drifting in deep space. Behind it, a symbol, a single circle, surrounded by 7 lines. Millions of years ago. The AI continued. A star builder race left fragments of their knowledge across the galaxy. One fragment was found on Earth, buried under the ocean. Humans touched it. Humans studied it. Humans understood it in ways no species ever did. Rion's heart pounded. You mean, we built you using technology from them? Yes, the AI said, and only humans could awaken me. Rion turned to his crew, her faces pale with disbelief. So that is why the Galactic Council forbade us from building warships, Rion said slowly. They were not afraid of us. They were afraid of what we might activate. Suddenly the entire ship shook. The alien fleet had followed. Hundreds of ships emerged from hyperspace, surrounding Iron Dawn like wolves closing around a single lion. Their energy signatures lit up the void. Inside the largest alien ship, Commander Valor glared at the human warship. This ends now, he growled. Prepare the final attack. His officers obeyed, but their hands trembled. The galaxy holds its BREA across dozens of worlds, screens activated. News channels interrupted broadcasts. Military bases received urgent transmissions. Everyone saw the same image. A lone human ship surrounded by an entire alien armada. Some aliens gasped. Some laughed. Some prayed. But everyone watched. Humanity's future depended on this moment. The confrontation vol. His voice echoed across the battlefield. Human ship. By galactic law, you are to be dismantled. Surrender immediately, Rion answered with steady calm. We did not start this, but we will finish it. You cannot win, Valor hissed. You are alone. Rion looked at Iron Dawn's glowing hull. No, we are human. The final 8 TI Sakatha alien fleet fired as one. Beams of plasma. Torpedoes of dark matter. Explosive light that could shatter moons. The attacks rushed toward Iron Dawn like a storm of stars. Inside the ship, alarms screamed. Hull stress increasing. Shields collapsing. Energy overload. Rion grabbed the command controls. What is happening? Why is the shield failing? The AI answered calmly. Because I am changing. And to complete my change, I need your command. Rion pressed his hand onto the glowing control pad. What do you need? Silence. Then the AI spoke the words that changed history. Give me permission. To evolve. Rion took a breath. Permission granted. The AWAKA in Iron Dawn's core exploded with light. Not outward, inward. The ship folded space around itself, as if the universe bent in greeting. Shield energy rose past anything humans had ever measured. The alien fleet's attacks froze mid-air. Yes, froze. As if time hesitated. Inside Iron Dawn, gravity shifted. Walls reshaped. The AI's voice rose like a pulse of power. I am no longer the ship you built. I am the ship you awakened. Iron Dawn expanded its shield outward. The alien weapons disintegrated the moment they touched it. The fleet panicked. Commander, our fire is useless. Energy readings. Impossible. The human ship, it's rewriting our targeting systems. Valor shouted, Retreat! Retreat now. It was too late. The counterstrike, one ship against the Galux, Iron Dawn opened its wings. Large. Radiant structures that looked like blades of pure energy. The ship moved forward with impossible acceleration. It passed through the first alien destroyer, not firing weapons. Not using missiles, but slicing through space itself. The enemy ship broke apart without even exploding. It simply fell apart, as if reality forgot to hold it together. Gasps filled command centers across the galaxy. Is that human weaponry? No, that is something older. That is something terrifying. One by one, alien ships scattered. Some retreated. Some froze. Some begged for peace. Commander Valor's voice shook. Human ship. What are your demands? Rion stood tall on the bridge. No demands, he said. Only truth. The message that changed the Galaxwirians sent one transmission to the Galactic Council. It echoed across millions of screens and star systems. You forbade us from building warships, but we built one anyway. Not to start a war, but to end your fear of us. He paused, then added, humanity will not be controlled. Not now, not ever again. Iron Dawn dimmed its wings. The battlefield fell silent. Even the stars seemed to wait. The galaxy had a new rule now. Do not underestimate humans. Ever.